Yeah. I just have to laugh so much because they're so stupid. Why does this man keep saying it's 2 times you can't defeat me? Why does he keep spending all his days and all his time and these people spending all their time monitoring me? They were like, I want to prove you don't have any money. You're not proving anything. Like, what is wrong with them? You keep trying to go on the back end instead of they don't ask directly. They don't look for anything directly. Instead of trying to go on the back end, you weren't around. You weren't at events. You weren't at things. Like, what is wrong with these people? I was like, if I wasn't needed, if I wasn't getting anything done, you would not be coming to me, monitoring me, wanting my intel, wanting my intellect, wanting my wisdom, sending me to come to your events. You don't have the wisdom. You don't have anything I need. Getting mad that Elohim said you are not needed. Elohim said it, and you got mad at me that he said you are needed. That they are not needed. Those are the ones that are not needed to accomplish what he wants to accomplish through me or in his kingdom. It's like each person having their own assignment. And he's like, I don't need you to fulfill that other person's assignment. Like, what are you getting mad for? What is wrong with them? I just keep asking Elohim, like, what is wrong with these people? They're not even people. It's like it's Hasatan, the adversity behind it. Still playing, still trying to mask, still bringing up names. Like I said, the emails that we got that said, I forget what the first name, it was like maybe it starts with a B. Duggery, Bribe, something like that. Or and it's organizations and stuff. It's just like, why are you using, they upset the other day and talk about power hours. Like, what is wrong? Like, intimidation tactics. You don't intimidate. Anybody who's not operating with Elohim, it's worthless. The other one of them who was a pastor, was just like, oh man, that pastor let us know you don't know what you're doing. People are now coming to us asking questions about the word, trying to figure out the word, understand the word. Not them in particular, but other pastors and stuff. And it's just like, they're supposed to. You are supposed to do that. They're supposed to study to show themselves approved. They're supposed to read their word themselves. They're supposed to know Elohim. But here's what we just read yesterday from it is John 7. As a reminder about you are supposed to, he will teach them. And he will teach them. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Which one? Which verse? But it said all will be taught of Elohim. All will be taught of Elohim. He will draw you, and he will be your teacher, and all of that kind of stuff. As he said, don't call anybody else your teacher because it's only one. Only one good. It's only one Father. Anyway, I'm just like, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with it? Like, what is wrong with the crazy? The crazy. It's not crazy, but it's just like I wouldn't even call it crazy. It's like this. It's the foolishness. Why is the adversary so foolish? I just really don't get it. I don't get it. Why is the adversary so foolish? I'm just like, it's annoying. It's annoying. If you are coming to the kingdom checking on us, why are you doing that? If you are obsessed with us, try to be obsessed with why we should work with you. Why you should try to get us a job to work with you or be in your programs. Why you're obsessed with trying to prove to people you're trying to help us out. Why are you obsessed with that? Why are you obsessed with what we're doing day in and day out and where we're at, where we're going, when we're outside, when we're not outside? Why are you obsessed with that? Why are you obsessed with us? You are not our dad. You're not our father. You're not our husband. You are not a part of our life. You're not supposed to be a part of our life. You are literally not on our assignment. You're not a part of the prophecy. What are you trying to be in the details for? And then so adamant, obsessed with trying to tell us you're living in the past because you're saying your husband. Yes, Elohim keeps saying and keeps confirming things about our husband and things about us and about our husband. We're not going to deny Elohim for you. Who are you? Why are you obsessed with it? Why are you obsessed? You're not helping us follow through on nothing. You keep rejecting the fact that we told our relatives that we had our Elohim's cause to serve. We said we could contribute, and guess what happened? Just like an experience before, after a month, not even over a month's time, the people played around and they thought that we would show up to work at a school. A school. We were supposed to have interactions with this school, and for the whole month, the principal ignored correspondence, every form of correspondence, and then thought we were just going to show up. And she contacted us the day before school was due. The day before school started, when we were supposed to have training, we were supposed to meet the team, we were supposed to go do a retreat. Like there was supposed to this whole agenda that was supposed to be fulfilled. And she thought that, oh, you could call us the day before school starts, and now we're supposed to just pop up and be there. No, we're not. It's been over a month and no correspondence. You deliberately, even having personal correspondence, deliberately ignore that. You think that we're supposed to work with people with choosing to have poor communications? Choosing to operate as Satan and trying to be lurking in the shadows and do witchcraft and trying to communicate in spirits, not in Ruach, in spirits, and do evil in spirits instead of operating like the word says, instead of being bold and courageous and stop being cowardice and communicate effectively. And they wonder why they're behind. Literally behind in education, but literally behind in the Ruach. Why are you sitting here trying to check in on us daily? What are you doing? And again, if you knew the life of the Messiah, if you were walking as the Messiah, if you were taught one of him, it would not be strange to you to have to do assignments from Elohim. It would not be strange to you when he says, don't do certain things. I don't care what it looks like to other people. Keep this hidden, or keep the provision that he gives you hidden, or he's keeping it hidden because he's trying and testing people and building up stuff. But they talk about they are used to living that way and they're used to following the Ruach, and you're not following in the Ruach. You would not be doing witchcraft. You have no partaking with Elohim doing witchcraft. You are literally accepting death and walking in death. You are literally having no share in Elohim. Literally as that dream. Dirty, feet washed. You are not partaking with Elohim. That means you're walking in spirits. You're not walking in Ruach. You're walking in spirits and you're walking in flesh. You're not walking in Ruach. You don't have the Holy Spirit. You don't have the Ruach HaKodesh. Why are you sitting here trying to be obsessed with? Why are you trying to prove that it can be done? Yes, Elohim can do all things. You do not have to sell your soul, sell your integrity, yield to man. You don't have to try to prove, oh, we had to sell out. I had to embezzle money. I had to steal. I had to try to get grants. And they try to make people in society feel like, oh, it's something wrong with them because they get on government assistance and programs. Well, if you create strawmen and you use these people as your dependents, then why are they not getting their benefits that are rightfully due to them? Y'all go around begging to investors and begging in the corporate and begging. They was like, you begging and begging and begging. Okay, when we did community service, did we not get sponsors? If your sponsor is going to pay for stuff, don't you expect them to do what is they're accountable to them? Like Messiah said, if he is the master and he instructs somebody to do something, is the servant going to get praise for what they're supposed to do? Is the government going to get praised when Elohim puts people in powers and authority, when he sets a king up, if they're doing the things that a king is supposed to do, is he going to give them praise for what they're supposed to do? Or is he going to give them the praise and the claps for the extra things that he did above and beyond? If you were supposed to divvy out the resources, and you are supposed to bring people together, when we would do community events and we would bring forth sponsors and we would bring forth different things, oh, is it begging then? But if somebody else is going into, you on government programs, you on a government salary, you in a government job, you getting your government assistance, somebody else ain't getting that, they trying to work it. Your government, your IRS, your other programs, they were mafia, they were all of these kinds of things. They were lawless ones. You weren't reprimanding them, but you want to reprimand the people in the communities that work, like Messiah said. The one who steals to feed his hungry belly or to feed his family, you want to reprimand them, but you out here stealing from them, embezzling, swindling, finding loopholes. Oh, but when you do it, it's justified. When they do it, it ain't justified. You out here on government assistance, but when they out here on your government program, it ain't justified. Or the people that are not qualified for government programs, and they don't want to be your chattel, and they don't want to be your strawman, and they don't want to be your dependent. But you are still a dependent. You still on the government program. You still on the government salary. You still on the government title. You still under those things. Oh, but when you do it, it's not. You ain't begging. You out here begging investors. You out here doing your business proposals and all of this kinds of stuff too. But you ain't begging your investors and you ain't begging people for business. You out here marketing, doing consumerism, market. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Get our business. Become our likes and our subscribers and our shares. Marketing gimmicks. Oh, you had to do your advertisements. You have to have your billboards. You have to have your commercials. You have to have your ads, even on your apps. Let's put the ads out there. Market. Let's grab the attention. Attention. Get their attention. Oh, but that's not begging. Oh, but when someone asks, like they're supposed to do in the body, if you have not, because you ask not, if you ask for, if your child asks for you for a loaf of bread, and would you give them a stone? Would you give them? Oh, but it's not, Messiah says that's righteous and that's in order and that's his way. But when somebody does that, oh, shame on them. But when you out here begging, you justify your begging, but you don't justify the beggar on the street. These people are not, we ain't dead and we ain't killed. And we don't die and we won't die and can't die. And you know what? They keep oppressing Elohim's people. They want to ride. Other populations are dwindling, but Elohim's people continue to populate. Why? Because the word himself said they will be increased. The more and more they oppress them in Mitzrayim, those lands of captivity. You have had these people under captivity. And the more you have made them captives, the more they have increased. The more babies they done had, the more fruitful they had, the more clever they have become, the more tactful and resourceful they have become. Because that's the word. That's what happens when you don't know the word. And you talk about, oh, let's take their intellectual property. Let's test them. Let's use them like test labs. Let's see how it works. Let's put them in the programs, allow them to live in certain places, and let them to make the area fruitful. And then we'll try to come and do deals and all of that. They try to do the back end thing, try to make people think that they don't have a understanding and a wisdom and an intellect and a good thing. They will try to convince you and I'm gonna say it behind these things or principalities. The seed of Satan will try to convince you don't have a good thing. Where did it all stem from? That in the Yarden, he tried to convince Hawa and Adam they didn't have a good thing. They knew they had a good thing. So it's like, get behind me, Satan. I know I got the good thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be coming to me. You wouldn't be trying to get my intellect. You wouldn't be trying to utilize my wisdom. You wouldn't be trying to come and ask me to help you out. You wouldn't be trying to come. You're not even trying to reason, but you wouldn't be trying to do these weird back end communications, unrighteous, evil, witchcraft, spiritual community, trying to do all of this nonsense. You would come correctly. You would come biblically. You would come lawfully. You would come righteously. You would come in the order, in the way, in the honor of Elohim. If you really meant what you said, and these people who would talk about, I need you to help me with this, you would come correct. You would send in for the service, you would send in for an appointment, and all of those other people, like people who walk in righteousness, do. But no, you want to back in and you want something. Elohim, Messiah went out and shared word freely. There are certain things he shared freely, but other things, no, the workman is worthy of his hire. Also, again, he didn't send us to help out. He said the lost sheep. His lost sheep, not every old person, not every old thing, not people who are rejecting him. We're not here for that. The one that after obsessed and they want to try to make these people think that they don't know something that they know. No, you want to try to make it clever. You want to try to convince people they don't know where they're worth. No, we know our worth. We know we got the good thing. That's why you try to take it from us. Like they talk about the different ethnicities. You know you got the good thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trying to take it off from you. We used to call it when we were growing up, biting off of you, trying to mimic you, trying to replicate what you got, trying to convince you that what you even had is the lovely and good fruit and the best thing. You got the abundance, and they want what you got. So they're going to try to convince you. Let me bring you down a level, like they say that those dating games they play. You are up here at solid gold. And Messiah said men will strive harder for gold than they do for brass. So guess what? If you are a man of Elohim, if you are a man of Messiah, if you are a woman of Messiah, you're striving for that gold. You're seeking Elohim. You're seeking the greater things. You're not accepting mediocrity. You're not accepting garbage. But the garbage, the real leeches, they trying to leech. The real leeches want you to come down to not to the mud, to the trash. The real leeches want you to come down to the trash. We're not talking about these people who clever, Panama, and other places where they do what they do. They come resourceful, they eat trash, they refry it, do these kinds of things. I'm not knocking the things that other people have to do to be resourceful, because people in positions that Elohim set to be good stewards over the people are not being good stewards, and they are getting judgment upon themselves for what they did against the people. I'm talking about these people that want you to come down to the garbage and accepting garbage because they are too lazy to rise up higher to the goal of Elohim. And I mean too lazy to do the spiritual work. Wickedness. That's wicked. They want to leech off the spiritual work of somebody else and benefit from it. When nobody gets into the kingdom through somebody, like you can't buy your way into the kingdom through me. Either you do your work or you die. Either you accept Messiah and have a personal relationship with him and get his approval for him to say, I know you, and let you in, or you don't get in. You might be saved, you might be influenced by the conduct of your husband or your wife. How do you know if you shall save them? It says by the conduct. They see you, they be inspired, but your walk is a covering. Husband and wife can cover their children, can be a covering, but the salvation comes through Messiah, and each person has to stand in a judgment of themselves for everything they've done, every deed and every word spoken. Their final judgment of my children and of my spouse is not on account of my walk, and vice versa. You are influenced by the conduct. You can be covered by the conduct. Their prayers and stuff can cover you. But when it comes down to the come down, you will be judged according to your individuality, your uniqueness, your relationship or lack thereof with Elohim. We are not coming down to the garbage because you want to throw out garbage to people and give them the garbage and tell them that the garbage is good. You want to slap a veil on a pig. We're not telling, no. That's why you can be along your way and go to where they want to do that. Because Elohim is telling us gold. Gold is the standard. Gold is the standard. And we're not throwing out garbage, telling people garbage is the standard. He said gold is the standard. Refining fire, righteousness, truth, his way, his cause is the standard. I'm not coming down here for man's standard. And that's why each person has their appointment and their assignment and their call and their responsibility to Elohim. I have my responsibility, which is supposed to do what I'm supposed to do concerning my spouse, concerning my children, concerning the household, concerning my walk, concerning my purpose, concerning the spiritual work, concerning what he's doing and he's always been doing. And I have a right, and it's righteous for me to do that. It doesn't matter if you think that the word is worthless. If that's what all he asked me to do is speak the word for 10 years, I'm going to do it. I don't care if you deem that as worthy or that as enough or not. Vice versa, somebody who is walking in righteousness should not care that my assignment is my assignment, and that they are not to abide by my assignment, but the assignment that Elohim has given them. Stop coming over here being obsessed with what's going on in the comings and goings, because we're not going to work for you. We're not supposed to. Because you were not assigned by Elohim, and he literally showed us your feet are dirty. You've not even been washed. You have not been assigned to influence us in any way, to guide us in any way. First of all, you're not our head. We have a husband. You're not our brother. You're not our kinfolk. You're not our dad. You're not our mom. You have no influence whatsoever over our walk. Over our walk. Don't get mad at us because we with the Ruach sit here and rightly divide, and we're rightly judging circumstances as they pertain to us. If you are not guarding yourself and doing your responsibility to your own self-care, your own spiritual care, that's on you. Don't get mad at me because you're not doing your part that you got to do towards your own self. Towards your own soul. Checking your own self. I expect people who are really kinfolk and really to do the same thing that I have to do. I got to filter out, eat the meat, spit out the bones. I serve Elohim. I listen to him. I take what he says and not to you. Even when it comes to my spouse, I take what Elohim says above all of that. I take whatever comes to me, everything that comes to me, whatever Elohim says above all of that. Nobody listening to you. You are not the shepherd. My sheep hear my voice, another they don't follow. Another they do not follow. Another they don't follow. We didn't ask anybody to follow us. We put on a channel and the thing, yeah, you can like, share, you can subscribe, you can follow, you can ask for the resources, you can ask for the things that the Father has given us to steward over, for the services that we do, for the content, for the different things that we create, for the work of our hands. You have to email us. Work is work. All ministry and everything in every area of our life consists of Elohim. If he's not in it, then it doesn't mean nothing. We're not like all of that nonsense. We are not here to finish up what you think we're supposed to do when you're not even washed. We're not supposed to have anything to do with you. You sitting here talking about you trying to get us to follow through on what you think. And your thoughts are wrong. Your mind isn't the mind of Messiah. He already showed us you are not with him. You haven't even let him wash you. So your thoughts have never been with Messiah because you're not even with Messiah. Your mind is not the mind of Messiah. You haven't even been washed by him. And you trying to give us people say advice. You're trying to influence us on what to do. You're trying to influence to walk away from the path of Elohim. You're not washed by Messiah. You're not a sharer in Messiah. Your feet are still dirty. This is a specific individual. They know who they are. Specific individuals. You know who you are. We're not here to follow through on what you thought we were supposed to do. You got it all wrong, and instead of you accepting that you got it wrong and you misinterpreted, you misjudged, and you missed everything you said that we were doing, instead of you accepting that and saying, you know what, I need to get my feet washed. I don't want to die. I don't want my children and my whole bloodline to die. I don't want to keep doing witchcraft and being dead and a dead man walking. Nah, you still walking around with dirty feet. You still walking around not a share of Messiah. And think that other people and me, I don't care if those buffoons followed you and believed you and walking with you, the ones that sold out, right along with you, in covenant with you, in covenant of the evil. We told y'all did an evil covenant against Elohim. This man is not even with Messiah, and y'all following that man. That woman, them people, them groups, they're not even with Messiah, and you following them. Their feet have not been washed, and y'all listening to them and following them. That's your choice. I'm not going with it. I'm not. Elohim said it. I already know it. He already showed it. The Ruach showed it. He keep proving it. And every time they try to bring some spirit and bullcrap, The Father keeps continuing showing it's trash. It's garbage. His words, it's garbage. It's dog poop. We don't want none of that. We're not. They say stupid things like they try to speak destitution over people. Now, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you were not in that place, somebody who is, even somebody who was, I don't know nobody that's destitute. Like personally, I don't know people that are destitute. I know people in third world countries that are not destitute. Messiah was never destitute and he owned nothing but the clothes on his back. I know nobody, and guess what? He was never sending witchcraft to nobody. He was never in the ins and out of somebody's everyday life. He was never trying to check somebody's email. He was never trying to sex witchcraft. He was never setting up evil covenants and curses and spells and sorceries against people. He was never getting mad when he saw the prophecies of Elohim being fulfilled. He saw rings, or he saw families coming together, or he saw people being in their rightful place in the positioning. He was never doing none of that. He was never sitting there getting offended and telling other people to get offended because he was speaking truth about who the vultures was, about who the seed of Satan was, about who the workers of witchcraft was, about even John saying you can't be with that woman, about the Jezebels, about all these kinds of things, about saying what is dead, about saying what does go to Gehenna, about saying about what hates him loves death, about saying how he turns away from that which hates him. You're not with him, you against him. He didn't lie, he didn't sugarcoat it, he had compassion, moved with compassion, but guess what? He had authority and dominion, and he didn't act like he didn't have authority and dominion to placate anybody, to soften anybody's little feelings. Whoa, let me act like I don't have the authority that my Father gave me. Let me diminish my light so they can't see it. I don't. What are you? All of that foolishness. Foolishness. I'm trying to prove to you and prove to these people. I searched your background. I looked up your straw man, and you don't think that Elohim set that up? You don't think that when he told us all of these things in advance, and it's been over a year, you don't think that was set up? Knowing that you would go looking for man's ways, and man's ways would fail. You didn't think that man's ways was going to fail, and Elohim's ways prosper? You thought that your way of selling out was going to be more powerful, or be power at all, or be influence at all over Elohim's way. Over Elohim's way. You thought you could prove, oh, I've proven you dropped the ball. Who dropped the ball? You the one that wanted to create a team. We didn't ask to create a team. We didn't ask to be on a team. We already said we don't be on teams because we serve Elohim. And Elohim has a kingdom. He has a reign. He has a home. He has a family. He has kinfolk. He has sheepfold. He has appointments. He has assignments. He has anointing. He has mantles. He has purpose. He has calling. He has the elect and choosing and purpose. He has a renewed way of thinking. His ways are higher than ours. His thoughts are higher than ours. Come up into his way of thinking. Come up into his way of thinking. If you sit here on the lowly, below the earthly mindset, if you're below the earthly mindset, coming in here every day below the earthly mindset, trying to talk to us or ask us or send spirits about things that are beneath and below the earth, are of no worth and no value. If you talk about straw men, if you talk about slaves, if you talk about captivity, if you talk about the lunacy and the lunatics, the spirits, the principalities, and things that have no power over Messiah and over the word or over prophecy, you talking about insignificant. Not just talk about it, but like you operating in that and sending that out to people. Like, we're not heathen, you're not wanting, you're not asking, you're not seeking further, but you are literally you're literally wanting to continue to dwell in that and trying to bring people into that with you. That dream, they knew it, and they knew there was only 2 to 3 places in that whole town where they could get clean food and clean water. They could get real life. You are not dwelling in real life. Why do we want to have anything to do with you? And then you want to convince us that you are coming over, you trying to come to us. You had tried to come to us frequently. There was a period in time when these people were trying to monitor and coming in daily. You don't got nothing we need, obviously. It's not needed. What is needed? What do y'all need? And what do all people need? The living water. I can't get living water from you. It's only one way to the living water. So why would I go to you for living water and you don't got it? And you can't give it to me. Why would I go to you for the vision of Elohim when you don't have it and you can't give it to me? Why would I go to you for the plans of Elohim when you don't have it and you can't give it to me? Why would I go to you for the purpose of Elohim when you don't have it and you can't give it to me? Why would I go to you for the anointing, the appointing, the mantles, anything, the word of Elohim when you don't have it and you can't give it to me? Why would I go to you for the teaching of Elohim when it only comes from him? Why would I go to you when I need the Father and there's only one Father? Why would I go to you? When Elohim is right here all the time, always. He's present, always. Messiah is always present. The Ruach is always present. I don't need to come to you for he who knows all things. You don't know all things. I don't know all things. Why? The one with the answers is right here. Why would I go to you? Why when that Father tells me certain people and they're not needed, are not a part of the prophecy, not a part of the assignment, whatever it is, would I believe a liar over top of that? He is always faithful, always on time, always consistent, always righteous, always right and perfect in every way and in all things. Why would I go outside of him? For what? I'm not. That doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to encourage other people to do that. That's stupid. It's dumb. I'm not going to convince these people they are less than because they have more apt and resourcefulness and skill to do the very same things that you're doing, but you want to try to make them feel like, oh, they're needy and you're not needy. You beg. You want to talk about them begging and what did you say? Pleading and stealing, borrowing. Like, they're not pleading with people. They're actually not begging with people. They're actually not stealing. They might be borrowing resources from their neighbor, right? But that wouldn't be unrighteous. But you begging for it. So what? That's an investor. You still begging. Is that not begging? Is that not pleading? Or, oh, we want to call that asking. They can go out here and ask too. You begging for grants, or you begging for contracts, or you begging for corporate deals, or different initiatives, or new laws to be passed, or justice to be enacted. So what's the difference between you and what you're doing and that? Oh, you want to make it seem like you are shinier, you got a higher title than they do, so it seems better. Oh, you think you're doing it more tactful than them, so you can try to make them seem less than. Oh, you're living in an area that has no life. You just a bunch of cookie cutter Stepford Wives neighborhood. You in the Stepford Wives neighborhood, or you're in little mini mansions, but it doesn't have no ethnic richness, no life and vibrancy. The reasons why people visit other countries because they're like, Americans are so. Obviously, there's more than Americans that listen to this channel heavily overseas and stuff too. But nonetheless, it's half here, half other places. But nonetheless, it's like there's a reason why people say that. You living to work? We don't live to work. You're not working to live. Like I'm serving Elohim. Other people know and they don't build up their society and their heritage and their ethnicity on the fact of a job, work with those statuses and those titles, putting that emphasis over their life and their soul, or their family, or their bloodline, or legacy. So it's like, get that out of here. Like, I don't get it out of here. What are you coming around every day for? They're not doing that anymore, and they won't keep doing that. But yeah, we call that stupidity out because it's like you're not needed, and you wonder why my Elohim said it's not needed. And the flip side, we were courteous enough to say, you know what? If he said you're not needed for what he's fulfilling to us, then that goes likewise on the other side. So why do you keep trying to push for what the nature? And that's why we said some of these people are like, you're supposed to be working on this across the nation about what's happening with this sexual perversion or molestation or this or that around the nation. No, maybe that's what you're supposed to be working on. Maybe you're supposed to be working on that. Oh, well, we're covering this and we're covering that. No, you're not. Because if you want the real story, you will go to the real witnesses. And you got plenty of people who gave real witness. And you got plenty of other witnesses. And you have repeated reports throughout time, through hospitals, through police reports, through home reports, through journals, through personal testimony, and all these stuff to prove what is true. So what do you think you're covering? Whom do you think you're covering? Yourself? If you got spooked when we shared the revelations of Elohim, why'd you get spooked? Why'd you get scared and create this whole rigmarole and say people were saying people's names and stuff, and we only talk to you about it? Why you say, what do I have to share if we only talk to you? Like when we sent out our worship list to one individual, the link to one individual. We showed the link to one individual. And then we had a whole host of people monitoring on here that was never supposed to be on here. One individual, a pastor, a worship pastor. How it go from one worship pastor to all of these other people who was never supposed to receive it? Even when we went to another person and asked them as a check-in, because the Ruach had already revealed phone calls and stuff that was being made in the background and things that was being done. The things that he already told us even in advance as it was continuing to transpire. So we asked them with a picture. We didn't send them no link. How it go from that? Like I said, one person having a link to all of these other people who weren't supposed to be involved. Weren't supposed to be on there. Because the message is for specific people, and they are not the people the message was for. And we had to go through addressing evil when it was happening. Address it right then and there. Because people wanted to be doing evil and shenanigans and witchcraft, and knowing that that is evil, knowing that that separates them from Elohim, knowing that they're not a partaker with Messiah, knowing that their feet are not washed, their inner man is not washed, their outer man is not washed, and they have no share in Elohim. But they want to get all of those people in their group that they made an ungodly oath with to try to make plans against us and other people, and telling people we're doing it for your favor. Oh, that's what you told, the front that you gave to some people. Then they wanted to talk about, oh, they're trying to make this person and that person a scapegoat. That's why Elohim had us reveal the testimony. That's why he has records of everything. That's why he knows how to do things decently in his order. And people are like, oh no, you know, wisdom, talk too much about this or that. No, that's why Elohim sheds light on the dark list. That's why Elohim has no fear in him at all. That's why Elohim is not hiding anything. That's why Elohim is there to save those who are not sure and didn't know they made an ungodly covenant and how to get themselves out. That's why he's there for the righteous ones. And then that's why he's there to also judge the wicked. That's why he's there to test every single spirit. Testing all the hearts and all the kidneys, all at once. No one was righteous. No one was righteous. And these people keep talking about, they know what Elohim was doing. They know what Elohim was doing. It was like when they were like, I thought she said she didn't come here for no man. We didn't. That's not what we came here for. That is not what we're here for. We didn't come here for that. We didn't lie. We were given 4 assignments when we first arrived here. One of those was to help an individual. But we didn't come here like, oh, we're going to pick you up and take you and do and create a team with you. We're making our team or we're joining your team. That's not what we said. Coming here for them and doing what Elohim instructed. We didn't come here for them. But that's what the other people believed, right? The spirits which gave insight to us of at times when the adversary knows, they're like, oh, you're a child of Elohim. Oh, I knew you was a child of Elohim. And it's like a confirmation again of what Elohim is doing or what Elohim is working out. So it was just like, even though we personally didn't have expectation for those individuals to be on the longer term assignment or in the assignment in certain ways, these other people who were the enmity knew it. They had an understanding and knowing that they're kind of like, oh, you came here for this. Now you're trying to prove that it's about these other things. You're trying to make it about what it's not about. But you also all have to understand at the same time, like the adversary, when Messiah came, they was like, oh, you son of Elohim, what are you doing here to torment us early? They all also at the time, principalities, have an insight in who you are. They know you're children of Elohim. They know you serve Elohim. So they're like, oh, we know you're here to serve Elohim and do work for Elohim. Oh, we know these other people have the light in them too. Oh, are you coming to take them? Are you coming to join together with them? It's like you didn't even say that, and you weren't even planning that or putting that in your plans, but maybe Elohim had a future plan with that, and they knew, because what? Are they on assignment to come against it? Were they as the adversarial enmity on assignment to come against the gathering of Elohim's kingdom? So I was just like, that's the foolishness. But anyway, I was good. I was good because it's just like that constant reminder of like, Elohim always knows what he's doing. And the light cannot be extinguished. Even the darkness sees and knows. The darkness knows you got light in them. Those principalities and that enmity know. They're like, oh, you got light. Your light is too bright. And that's what some people are like, your light must be shining bright. Why do all of these people keep doing all that stuff to them, trying to do that stuff to that woman and her family? Their light must be shining bright. And then other people was like, oh my goodness, you must have not covered yourself well enough, or there's not spiritual protection and all of that lies. They literally hear you say, and knowing that Elohim's been covering you, and he sent his messenger. And then they'll have the audacity to say silly things like, oh, that's not spiritual protection. That can't be true. That can't be true. Elohim is not a liar. So when he says, I never see the righteous forsaken nor seed brethren for bread, when he said, no weapon formed against you shall not prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment, I shall condemn it to be in a wrong. I condemn it to be in a wrong. That can't be true. What is the truth in this situation? Elohim's word is the truth. His word is the truth. So I don't have to take on and listen to and receive that nonsense, that silliness. That things are the moments where we didn't think that thought through. It cannot be a believer, and Elohim can't be true. Let Elohim be true and every man a liar. Elohim is true. Even when men get it mixed up and say, oh my goodness, it can't be spiritual. Maybe it's not spiritual protection. Maybe you're not guarding yourself well enough. Maybe you expose too much, you let them in, and Elohim says, I'm working everything for good. Your steps are ordered, or the steps of a righteous man are ordered by Elohim. So who's true? Is Elohim true, or are you true? Is what Elohim said the truth, or is what you said the truth? Again, that's why we're not joining together with the silliness, and why Elohim helps us check the moments, checking ourselves. Others who are our Kodesh council will check us too. Check ourselves and check other things that we hear, check other things that are coming in, and checking the fact that we know we are not being partaking in on assignments that are outside of what Elohim told us to do. He gave a time for us to be able to contribute to other people when they were in need. And they ask and you're in need. When somebody asks, hey, can you help support this? Can you help take care of my family? Can you help do this? And you have the ability, you do it. But when things shift and seasons mature into the next season, and it grows, and time continues on, You move as water. You move with what Elohim is doing. You don't remain just trying to. So, okay, you might have been in this capacity. You might be doing this thing. And it's not to say, oh, it's okay for that person to feel that capacity. And then when they have to go on, it's cool. But when you about to go on, it's not cool. Respect a person. Oh, it's okay to get that person smoke, but we won't get nobody else smoke. You can all get smoke. I don't even say that. Reprimand. Oh, let's not reprimand anybody. Or let's reprimand everybody. Anyway, yeah, you're awesome. You are amazing. You are lovely. You are lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I thank you. 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 Um, and just continue to do what only you can do. Ooh, continually. Continually doing what only you can do. Because it's like, oh, the silliness. That's what you want us to do. Be graduated into your way of thinking. Be graduated into your ways, into your thoughts, into your language, into your like. We are in your likeness, but more and more like you. Messiah himself said, be perfect as your Father is perfect. I'm tired of hearing people say, because none of us are perfect, you can't be perfect. Your standard of perfect is not Elohim's standard of perfect. It would be great if you would come up and start agreeing with what Elohim says. Come up and agree with what he says. Stop agreeing with the nonsense that is contrary to what he says. Agree with what he says. I don't care what people say it looks like or how it sounds. I don't care if they think that is egotistical to, for me, agree with my Father. Okay, you be on that weird stuff. You not just weird, but you be on the other stuff that you're on then. Because I'm choosing to agree with my Father. I agree with his prophecy. I agree with what he said is transpiring this week. I agree with what he said is coming this week. I agree with that. I agree with what he's doing this year versus what you have to say and think about it. I agree with what he said I fulfilled, which is why he kept graduating me to the next level in understanding and giving me more of himself and giving me more. When Messiah said, I didn't come to just lightning. I came to bring a sword. And it's like the paraphrasing of he gave us more accountability. I told you that even to lust in your heart. I didn't say don't just do the act physically, but don't even do it in your heart. So, let all of that other stuff go. Let it go. All of these people lying like, oh, you don't want to grow. They want to make excuse for why they just got a hard no. It's a hard no. A hard no, and it's not changing. We're not wavering. Oh, you need to decide. No, we're decided. We already told you. We keep telling you the same thing, and you think that you trying to collude behind the scenes and schemes behind the scenes is going to change it, but it's not. We gave you Elohim's word. His word was no. It's a no from Elohim to us regarding you is a no. That's all it is. No, we're not working with you. No, we're not on assignment with you. No, we're not. Here for you does not mean giving a message to somebody does not mean any of those things. Your interpretation is a no. Hard no from Elohim to us, from us to you. From what Elohim has given us concerning you, what he's given us to do, it's a hard no regards to you. We don't accept it. That's why when it comes to our family, and what he said about our family, and you're sitting here trying to say the opposite about our family, again, no, we don't agree with you. We agree with Elohim. No, we don't agree with what you're trying to conspire, the job you talk about, the work you talk about, the people you're talking about, the people you want to involve, the team you want to create it. The attitude or anything, an attitude against us or that fence, blah, 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 whatever it is. We don't agree with it. We agree with what Elohim says. He says. We reject your lies against us. We reject your accusations against us. We reject your assault against us. We reject your insult. We reject your perspective. We reject what it is you're trying to do and trying to go on and trying to create. We're not partaking in it. It's not our assignment. It's not going to be helpful for to us, to you, or to the kingdom, the reign of Elohim, for us to be over there agreeing with you when we're not supposed to. Vice versa. You're not supposed to be over here trying to agree with us. You're not. We are not supposed to be over there trying to agree with you. We're not focused on that. He gives us overall. He'll talk about things going around the globe. He'll talk about things in education. He'll talk about things in food. He'll talk about things in daily living, spiritual living, inner man, righteousness, anything that pertains to the household of belief, anything that pertains to life and living in eternal life, anything that pertains to your soul, anything that pertains to your well-being and to your mind, to your physical, to the mental, to emotional, to social, to everything that Elohim presides over. He gives us a touch on any of that any given time, and he wants to because he can. We are not limited to what we can discuss, only by what he says. Now, for those who don't understand that, it's probably not a message for you. Oh, Elohim has a message for people who resonate, who are on that path, on that work, in that sheepfold, at that level, at that maturity, at that learning stage, at that depth of the word and the scripture. For those who are part of the same operation in the body, meaning if you are both, like if you were a hand, if you're a toe, whatever, he's addressing those. He's addressing the reprimand to the people who keep doing witchcraft. He's addressing the people who the message is even for you. They're addressing all people to rightly divide, to do what Elohim is saying. Agree with him. Stop agreeing with foolishness. Stop agreeing with what's contrary. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? I will not obey man. Elohim did not say, go out here, obey man. Go out here, trust in man. Go out here, putting your hope and your belief in man. Go out here, having a fear of man. No. Literally, the Bible says, don't do that. Elohim is the one. You don't have nobody above him. If this is too hard for you, if this is not right, if it's not with your spirit, okay, eat the meat, spit on the bones. Okay, move along. Move along from it. It is your responsibility. Your relationship with the Ruach in spirit, in your being, in your soul, is your responsibility between you and Elohim. Anyway, I'm living at that. I don't receive the other stuff that is not in alignment with what Elohim is saying. And other people keep lying and talk about, oh, I'm trying to give you what you need. No. Operating as Satan is not giving somebody what they need. Some people, if you have a group of, say, 50 people, and 30 of them have been plotting evil behind the scenes, doing witchcraft and all of that behind the scenes, five of them are righteous. And 10 of them are wavering and mean well and want to do right and all of that. And then another five is just aloof and just going along with whatever. He has a message for all, but that doesn't mean, oh, everybody is who they say and seem and all this. And, well, they were never like that to me. Well, I've been working with them for 10 and 20 years, or I don't know them to be like that or this or that. Or I did research, or that's why I'm not listening to what man perceives. What did Elohim say is in the inner man? What is Elohim's judgment? I'm going with what he's saying. I'm not coming into agreement with nothing that is no. It's not alignment with Elohim. I'm not coming into agreement with it. I don't care. For the sake of the he can save something for the sake of the righteous, but that doesn't mean you still just ignore that there's 30 other people who are literally doing workers of wickedness. But you're like, oh, but we all no. Because Elohim sees past all of that. And he rightly divided. He rightly separates the sheep from the goat. And I'm not going to act like he doesn't. I'm not going to pretend that, oh, everybody means well, kumbaya. Everybody's repented. Everybody's forgiven. Did you check and ask Elohim what's hidden in the heart? Who really has hatred and who really doesn't? Who's really envious and who's really jealous? Who's really not for it? Who's really wanting to show up on the other front? Who really might be a Judas? Who really might be a Saul? Who really might be the seed of Satan and the accusers? I'm not dealing with that. And that's the other thing, justifying that somebody was bringing spiritual abuse. Oh, we don't like you. We don't like your verbal abuse. We don't like this and that. Well, that's why we're not around you. We're not speaking to you, and the message isn't for you. It's not a verbal abuse, but because you deem it that way, because it's too stern and too firm for you, where there's plenty of people who don't feel that way, who don't receive it as such, who receive the goodness of it and keep going forward, whatever Elohim has for them. That's why you have to check what is between you and Elohim, what's for you and what's not. It's not our responsibility to do that for you. We check through things for our household, for our family, for ourselves, for our children. There's also a way training them in the way that they should go. There's a point where your training should be implemented. Where Messiah says, I'm not raising up sheep, I'm raising up shepherds. So you were a sheep and I'm raising you to be a shepherd. Anyway, we're not saying anything. I'm not going to say anything else, but it's just like trying to justify all of the nonsense. Like, no. Be accountable for your spirit. Be accountable for your ruach. Be accountable for your soul. Be accountable for it. Be accountable and be accountable to Elohim for it. Thank you, Father, for your day. Thank you for your way. Thank you that you work through this and how and touching and highlighting what you need to highlight for each and every individual that you know is for. Don't let it go out to anybody who is not for. Don't let no riffraff and no dog poop and no garbage try to even come in and twist nothing. Father, you be esteemed and exalted continually. And have your way in your righteousness in Yahushua Mashiach. Amen.